So people keep saying, hey, Bernie, why don't you drop out? Which means, why don't you shut up? That's what that means. When they say, hey, when's he going to start up? When's he going to drop out and start supporting the thing that he's been working against his whole life? Because that's what they're really saying. They don't understand that he's not like normal politicians. In fact, he didn't take any money from super PACs. He didn't take any money from big corporate donors. He didn't do that stuff. He's a man of the people, for real. He's a real progressive and a fighter. He's the guy we've been waiting for our whole life. And so when they say, hey, when are you going to drop out? That means shut up. When are you going to shut up? But he's not going to shut up. Why is he going to Philly? Why is he going to keep talking? He's not stopping. Bernie Sanders isn't going to stop talking about this stuff because he's been talking about this stuff his whole life. This is what he's been working towards this. This is from 1991. He was on C-SPAN. You want to hear what he had to say? This is 2 minutes long. Here's what he had to say on C-SPAN.
But I'll tell you honestly what I think the most important problem is and where I want to play at least some role. And that is that the average American, to a significant degree, is giving up on government. To me, the major crisis that we face is that in this last election, as you know, about 60% of the people, when given the choice of the Democratic and Republican parties in Congress, didn't vote at all. You know, all of us are dismayed that in South Africa, for example, black people can't vote. How many of us know that in this country, poor people don't vote anymore? The last election, presidential election in 1988, you had 50% of the people not choosing to vote for Dukakis or Bush. You have a situation in this era of anti-incumbency. Throw the bums out. 96% of these guys got reelected. So the basic issue is how to reinvigorate democracy. How to make the average working person, the elderly person, the poor person say, you know what, this is my government. Those people in Washington listen to me, they are representing my interest, and they're not just standing with the rich and the powerful against me. Now, how do you do that? That has to do with the media, who owns and controls the media. It has to do with the two-party system. It has to do with campaign financing and the fact that many of the candidates are heavily indebted to wealthy people and corporations who buy them, who buy politicians, who buy elections. So,
this is 1990. He's saying this stuff. This is 1990. This isn't a new thing to him. This is 26 years ago he was saying this? 25. He's been saying this his whole life. So he figured out what the problem is. He figured it out back then. He knew it then. So when people say, when are you going to drop out? When are you going to shut up about this stuff? Never. This is his life's work, to return government back to the people. So he's got a little bit more to say.
How we can begin the serious discussion, the national debate that we need, which says, where do we want to go as a country? Who has the power in this country? How do we democratize all of our institutions? How do we give working people power over their own lives? You know, we freed the slaves a long, long time ago, but in many respects, and I don't mean to be rhetorical about it, the average working person today has very little rights. Corporations announce a worker comes to work on a Friday, and the corporation says, oh, by the way, we're moving to Mexico. You worked for our company 30 years, here's a few bucks. You have no power to say, you don't have any power over your job. So I think the major challenge we face is not only a redistribution of wealth, which is important, but a redistribution of power, making the average American feel, this is my country, this is a democracy. I can shape the future. The people don't feel that now. They sit down, they watch the tube for 40 or 50 hours a week, they hold their nose, they vote for the lesser of two evils. Now that to me is the major problem. And once we can begin to deal with that problem, I think other things will follow.
1990, he was saying, we got to stop this holding our nose and voting for the lesser of two evils. Why? Because it's still evil. He was saying that 26 years ago on television. He was saying that. When are you going to drop out? When are you going to stop saying this stuff? Never. He's never going to stop saying it. And that's why I love this guy. And that's why people who love him. Because he's about the real thing. He's about the people. He's not about the special interests. He's not about the moneyed elite. He's not about the status quo. He understands we need a revolution. It got way worse from there. Bill Clinton became president, he deregulated television and the news. So now we have just 6 companies own all our media in America. It got way worse. Way worse. Income disparity grew. They got rid of welfare after that. The Clinton gutted it. We stacked our prisons with even more people. Things got way. That's what he was saying in 1990. He ain't going away. He ain't going to stop saying it. He's also sponsoring lots of candidates down ballot. I love this guy. It is a revolution. That is what we need in this country, and he's not going anywhere. Feel the burn.